Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County. I'm just one of your hosts, Sean Boyle. With me is
Ashley Mock.
And welcome to the half-hour radio. I'll explain why I'm laughing in a second. Welcome to the half-hour radio program that airs every Sunday on 104.5 The Flame at 10 a.m. But also, because of a wonderful partnership with St. Lucie Public Schools, our radio program is also a monthly television show where we come into the WLX Horizon studios and you get to see our faces.
With caution.
With a strong word of caution. If you're listening to the radio program, I got a quick way for you to check out what these faces look like. You can check your local cable provider, look up WLX Horizon, St. Lucie, or do what I do, which is what my son taught me to do. Go to YouTube, look up WLX Horizon. I always put in St. Lucie just in case, and you can see all the programming that's offered through the school, St. Lucie Public Schools, including this show, which, believe it or not, dates back 9+ years.
It's vintage. There's vintage episodes.
It was before I had my wig fitted.
Oh my God. Okay, clearly this has gone off the rails already. We're like nose-diving.
What we do on this show, besides entertain you a little bit, that was the entertainment, now to the business part. What we do is, at the Children's Services Council, we are not media and or radio or television professionals.
Clearly.
Duh, obviously. But what we do for our community is focus on 5 things. And those 5 things are: 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby. 2, stopping child abuse before it happens. 3, keeping kids off the streets. 4, keeping them in school. And 5, keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors. And when I say we focus on those priorities, what we do at the Children's Services Council, your Children's Services Council, is we fund and develop systems of care in those 5 priority areas and to make programs that are available to all residents.
Yes, and in the last year, we've had a couple expansions or added a few new programs in our last fiscal year. So we're currently at 54 programs, and those programs are reaching over 60,000 children in our community, which is amazing. So you can learn more about it by watching our show, by visiting us online at www.cscslc.org, or Sean brought props today, and we do have these printed family guides. These are actually available in English, Spanish, Creole, and Portuguese. So if you know someone that needs these, if you have a place where we can bring some to you for you to distribute, please give us a call, or there's actually a form you can fill out on the website that we could bring some to you. But these guides really are like a quick synopsis of all of the programs that we work with in the community and how you can get access to them.
You know, fun little story. I know you'll be the judge of that, but we do community events a lot, right?
Yeah.
And we have this directory on like 4 of them on a rotating thing.
All the languages.
And the only one that I don't know yet is the Portuguese one. So when someone wants Portuguese, I'll hand them the Spanish one. They're like, that's not it. I'm like, so I'm getting better at it. But
we're gonna learn to read all of them.
But this is actually our last show closing out 2023.
Which, do you remember what like, I feel like it was just January.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am ready to say goodbye to 23.
Amen. Agreed. I am with that. Yeah.
But we are grateful, even though we're saying goodbye to 23. We're excited about 24, and I gotta say, we're grateful for this partnership with St. Lucie Public Schools. We're grateful. I'm grateful for the entire team, the board of the Children's Services Council, but also, as we mentioned, these 54 program partners. We're grateful for all of them, right? Because without them, we are nothing.
Absolutely, and they have done some amazing work in the last year. We are excited about our annual report that will be coming out in the early part of next year. But we talk a lot about the impact that the programs are having and the work that they're doing. You can always find that information on our website, past annual reports. We just had our impact luncheon not too long ago with the St. Lucie County Chamber where we talk a lot about that. But please stay up to date with that, because really, like, these programs are nothing if they're not utilized by the community. And that's the purpose of them being there. That's why they're there. We want to make sure that if you or your family or a neighbor or a coworker is looking for a resource in the community, that you know where to find it. Obviously, you can reach out to us, but 211 is also an excellent place to find information. And as always, I think we'll take a moment. I think you and I, typically we have a whole show dedicated to mental health during the holidays, mostly as a therapy session for Sean and I. But 211 is also an incredible resource that we have in our community for anyone who might be struggling. And we know the holidays are tough. Listen, I feel like I talked my husband off a ledge just this morning. So please, if there's something that you need some help with or you just need someone to talk to, 211 is an incredible place. We've got local people that will answer the phone at any time. So please don't forget that you can reach out to them.
I'm glad that you brought that up because,
Look, we have it.
it's right here, 2-on-1. She stole all my talking points. But I will tell you, because you're right, the holidays do bring up a lot, particularly those that maybe aren't still with us. I can tell you over Thanksgiving, I had a breakdown. Fully anticipate having one over Christmas as well. But it's good to know because let's face it, it's, we're all humans. It's, emotions and memories and all that, that's all part of being a human. And if you can't connect with a friend or loved one, and Ashley's helped me out at times. If you can't connect with a friend or loved one, don't forget, even if your family's all traveling and you think you're alone, you're never alone in this community. And 2-on-1 always has somebody there 24/7. Did I do that right? Yeah, 24/7. And if you're like, you know what, Sean, I want to reach out to somebody, but calling somebody feels a little too intimate. 2-on-1 even has a text line.
Yep.
Do you remember what it is?
It's 898. You have to text your zip code to the number 898-211. And they will respond, and they'll be able either to connect you to resources or just talk or whatever it is. That's also a really great option to offer teens who maybe don't feel like they have anybody to talk to. We know texting is their form of communication, so it's also just mentioning that to somebody could be really helpul for them.
So I'm going to awkwardly pivot just to remind you also that while you can stay connected with us through our website, cscslc.org. Get a pen handy. There's lots of options here. Our website, again, cscslc.org. This radio show every Sunday, but it's also a podcast. So if you happen to miss it, do not fear, do not fret. You can pull up your phone. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, all the major podcast networks. And the whole point of this show is really for the listeners and the viewers to give the gift of help to somebody. Because as Ashley mentioned, if somebody outreaches for help, that's a big step for that person, right? So how great it would be if all of the residents, everybody that you know and love knew, like, hey, I'm really struggling because I can't afford to send my kid to the doctor. I need health insurance. You're like, I watch this show. It's highly entertaining. Again, subjective. But they talk about kid care and kid care outreach. Let's get you connected. Or you need somebody to talk to. Call 2-on-1. If you need an after-school program, call Future Generations. We got it all covered. But it's all part of our relationship with you, the audience, to know what resources are out there just so that we can connect them. And another way, this is my awkward pivot, the other way I want to say that you can stay connected to the Children's Services Council, the website, the podcast. You can call our office. It's weird. We all carry phones around, but how many actually make phone calls on it? You can call us directly at 408-1100. We will happily bring you these program guides because that means that more people are getting connected. And we'll even talk to your workplace, congregation, civic group. We can be entertaining live, mostly. But also, I wanted to mention social media. I can hear the groans. Yes, social media. We've limited ourselves to Facebook, where, let's face it, you're on there because how else do you know what your high school friends are up to? And Instagram, end of list. Those are our two places, but look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County. Facebook, we post nearly every day. Instagram is a little bit more behind the scenes because, you can't really post that many words. It's just pictures.
It's the best. It's the better.
It's the best of the two.
Social media.
It's the best of the two. But anyway, make sure that you follow us and like us. Look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie. We are fortunate. I think this is her first time on the TV show.
It is.
And
we didn't make her nervous.
Let me tell you the little story of why I was laughing a little bit at the beginning. So we have this thing, whenever we have a guest here.
It's not a thing, it's your thing.
It's our thing, Ashley's idea. We have this thing, I'm including you, Ashley. We have this thing where we come into the studio, we obviously are looking at the cameras now. The guests, you have the lights and everything. It's like a little intimidating. And we always say, you just look at us when you speak, but when you're not speaking, if you could do jazz hands, nobody ever does it except for this guest.
One person in history.
When I am trying to do the intro is jazz hands.
I love it. I'm here for it. I am really excited that she's with us today. We actually had a great meeting with her a few weeks ago, and I said to you after, I was like, I'm gonna bring her back. Like we're gonna bring her on the show. So we're really excited today. It might actually be the first time that we've talked to this organization. Do you know if that's true?
I mean, on the radio, yes.
Yeah. So GraceWay Village, I'm certain you have heard of in the community. I really hope that this is an opportunity for everyone to learn about them. But we're really fortunate today to have their leader, Chrystal Netherton, with us to talk a little bit about not only the programs that they are offering to the community, but there are some exciting things coming up that we'll be able to kind of connect people with that I'm excited about. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me,
Double
guys.
thank you for doing jazz hands, because Sean will now remember this day
This
forever.
I'm waiting for the
That was
camera
the
to go on
best.
you, and I'm going to do the same.
I bet.
Perfect. So for anybody who maybe hasn't heard of GraceWay, which again, I don't think anyone has not, but give us kind of an overview about what you guys do in the community and kind of what you're positioned to do.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. So he's doing the hands. Oh, gosh.
He's getting you back.
Right? GraceWay Village is wonderful. We not only, provide hope and encouragement for our clients, but we're there through our two main programs. So we provide free hot meals 4 nights a week. That's Tuesday through Thursday, as well as Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. Clients can come through a drive-through line, or we have designated delivery sites that we go to. So it's a wonderful way to get a free hot meal and really alleviate some costs. I'm sure you guys are feeling it in your own families and the public too, but food costs are at a high. So that's one way that we can really help families, that they can then put those needed funds towards other issues. And then we have our clothing boutique, where it's designed as a true shopping experience for the families. Children, along with their guardian or adult in their life, can come in and pick out free clothing, and brand new socks and underwear is really important. So we're always in need of, a sock and undie drive. We call them our seats and feets drives.
I like that.
But so that's one way that we really get to give back to the children and help in that way. A unique portion of the program is that each client is paired with a volunteer, and that volunteer really takes them throughout their shopping experience and gets to understand the reason that they may be coming. So we get to love on them all the more if it was unfortunately a house fire, or a grandparent getting their grandchildren the night before. So there's many different cases in our community, and we're so happy to provide those crisis needs, but also just the love and encouragement that you can do this, and provide that hope as well.
That's awesome. I have it on good authority that a book slinger may want to pop into some of those shopping days coming up.
Yes, we're so
I've heard that
excited.
rumor.
Hopefully it will happen.
Is that Bookman's
Is that
new
Bookman?
name, Book Slinger?
Well, yeah, that's.
I'm gonna get him like a Western, holster.
I don't know. That
and he
sounds
can
like a
sling books.
villain.
Yeah,
That
it
I
sounds
like
a
a book
villain
slinger.
name. That's a villain
But
name.
yes, so our clients in our boutique, we're asking that they're able to come every 4 months. So it's during that 4-month time that we ask them to complete one community workshop. And Bookman hopefully will make an appearance and provide one of those workshops for us. It's things like basic life skills. Usually it's around financial awareness, or creating a budget, or how to cook fresh vegetables and meals that way. So learning to read to their children is another wonderful workshop that we hopefully can include.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's really cool. I think one of the things with both of your programs that I really like is that you're not just eliminating the barriers that those families may have because of whatever situation that they're in, but you're making it feel as normal as possible for them.
Exactly.
So it's not just like I'm going to pick up clothes because my family really needs them. I'm shopping for clothes.
Right.
And I
Right.
love that it's set up that way, because it really kind of takes away that hurt that they probably are having, or the shame that they're having about the situation that they're in, and giving them an opportunity to just be normal.
Definitely. The dignity involved in it is a huge aspect. One thing I love is when, a teenager, for example, will come into the boutique, and really we have it set up in 2 different rooms. There's the children's room and our teen room, and they leave with such a smile. They come in kind of like, going to this place, but then they leave with a smile because they've had really the love and the care of, just in the fine things. So the small things are really what matter to them. So they always leave with that smile, and it's encouraging.
That's awesome.
And you're right. I think the differentiator, that's a real word. The differentiator is the way that the service is delivered,
Yeah.
right? You don't feel like you're, it's not like here's a stack of clothes, here's a bunch of food, be on your way. It's like going shopping, or it's like being at a restaurant.
Right.
There's dignity behind it. So let's talk about the clothing boutique, because I know Chrystal and I are class 39
I've heard.
chamber
Whoop, whoop.
leadership
Best
graduates.
class ever.
Yes, we outnumber your class, which is 30 something, right?
One.
31. But we are able to do a tour, but in order to make that happen, it involves the whole community.
Absolutely.
So how do you, like, because, you know, like to your point, when you go in, it's like set up
It's like a store.
like a retail store.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, I don't know, I'm not good with this kind of terminology, but like the round thing, all the clothes are hung up on.
Racks.
Racks, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
You worked retail?
I did work retail.
Some may call them risers.
Right.
See? Look at
Thank
that.
you for that. Thank you for giving me grace on that one. But the racks and stuff.
I did not.
Where all those clothes come from? They come from the community,
The community, absolutely. We have 2 drop-off bins, thanks to the Children's Service Council, but they're able to drop off at our location 24/7, and those bins sit outside of our buildings, or they can come on Tuesday and Wednesday, which is when our boutique is open from 10 to 2. If they need help getting the items from their car or carts to carry it in, that kind of thing. So 10 to 2 is our really great window for drop-off on Tuesday and Wednesday, but like I said, 24/7, you could always put it in the drop-off bin.
This holiday season, if you get a bunch of stuff for Christmas and you're like, you know what, I'm going to clean my closet, and you're
Yes.
like, this stuff, I don't want it anymore, in good quality, obviously. This stuff, maybe it doesn't fit me anymore, whatever, they can drop it off at GraceWay.
Absolutely, and that's another great way that we can partner with other organizations in the community, is something that we might not use in our boutique, we can then pass on to other organizations that will definitely use it. So we take care of every item given to us.
So fun story, Ashley. I'm full of stories this morning.
You are.
We toured GraceWay. It was part of our nonprofit day. We were at GraceWay, and I was walking. We were taking the tour. I was with Jessica Bright from the Inner Truth Project, and we found a Mandalorian mask.
Oh.
And I was just like,
Did he try to take it?
I should have, but I made Jessica put it on. I took a picture of it.
Yeah, of course.
But they literally have everything
Yeah.
for families, from birth all the way to teenagers and so on.
And great example, like that mask made you smile. That's exactly what it does for the kids. So.
Yeah. I was like, I should come back more often.
So, because we're talking about the boutique, talk about, like, if someone does need help, how do they get connected? If somebody has experienced a house fire, like you mentioned, what do they need to do? What steps do they need to take to get help from
Sure.
you?
So many of our partnerships are the same one listed in your guide there. So they have vouchers that they can fill out for the family and send to us, or they can just come to us. So they might just hear about GraceWay Village through your wonderful viewers telling them about it, and they can just show up and on Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 to 2.
Awesome.
So why don't you give out some contact information and your address?
GraceWayVillage.com.
Simple.
Yeah, it's 1780 Hartman Road in Fort Pierce, or GraceWayVillage.com, or our phone number is 925-3074.
She said that with pretty solid confidence.
She
You
did.
see her, she's
I
like,
forgot
think
the
that number-
772, so
Okay,
that
okay.
threw me.
Do you remember when we never had to say that?
Right, I do, yes. 772-925-3074.
So perfect, and that most of what we've talked about is the boutique. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the feeding program, because that is a really big part of what you guys do.
It is huge. You know, the economists really told us at the height of COVID that it was going to take 6 to 10 years for the low income to get back to where they were pre-pandemic, and they were already low income. So unfortunately, we're seeing that come to fruition. Our meals have increased over 18% this year. We have gone from last year, we served over 63,000 meals. This year, we're already over 70,000. So it is a huge increase. And with that comes the wonderful need for volunteers and wonderful need for the community to really have a place that they can donate to. So we're happy to be there to provide those, much needed crisis assistance through the food. Our children are definitely hungry. 16,000 of those meals last year were to children alone. So it's a huge endeavor. Unfortunately, like I said, we're seeing about an 18% increase. And just the other night, we've had multiple nights where we're over 500 meals each night.
Wow.
So it's a huge endeavor, and our team is absolutely wonderful. We only have 2 full-time employees. Everyone else is part-time. Our chef is amazing. She comes in and prepares that meal with the volunteers, and then they, distribute through the 6 off-site locations that we serve to. some of which are our local hotels. Our hotels, there's many families living there that are calling a one-room hotel room their home, and it needs to change, which kind of leads me right into
Look at that. Like you set that up.
Yeah.
We'll just step away.
That
and we'll
wasn't
come back in about 10
planned.
minutes.
But we really have a dream to build a family restorative living facility. Our community needs it, you know, with 2,000 children, over 2,000 registered as homeless in our St. Lucie County school system. We are in need of this here. It's been a long time coming. I just went to a groundbreaking for our city though today, you know, with the Moore project, and that's great, but that provides 15 homes. So there needs to be more though. So GraceWay Village is really stepping up, and we want to build that facility and really be a village where these families can come that are threatened with homelessness and provide that soft place to land in a full working program, which I mean working program, as they will have to do the training that it takes to reach that self-sufficiency. So they'll have to be invested themselves into it and want to desire this for themselves, and really provide that place anywhere from 1 month to 18 months, depending where they are in life. Many of our hotel families have a job, and they're getting up and going to work every single day, but they just can't make those end meet, and they get into a vicious cycle of paying the hotel, you know? So it's a place where they might only need the 6-month stay with GraceWay Village, but then you have the others that might have a little bit more of a generational poverty mindset, although COVID is definitely bringing us a different face of poverty. So we are prepared for that and really wanting to help our families.
And you know, and you think about it, they're addressing hunger and food, they're addressing clothing. It's the natural progression, shelter, right?
That's right.
I highly recommend this book. We're not sponsored by this author. I don't even know who the author is, but there's a book called Evicted. You've heard me talk about it. I think everybody should read it, because the idea of homelessness, you know, for a lot of families, you just said it, they get in a cycle, right? Or maybe they get evicted, hence the name of the title. They get evicted. Well, that eviction follows them, and it limits where they can find housing again.
It does.
And we kind of have this like system where we're purposely making it more difficult, but you and GraceWay Village and your board and yourself have come up with a solution to address this immediate need.
That's right. And we're really excited. In February 10th, we're having a big campaign kickoff, as well as it's our 15th year in St. Lucie County and Fort Pierce. So we're excited to really celebrate what we've accomplished over 15 years, but also really kick off that campaign to get this building built.
So let's talk a little bit on that details. 'Cause
Sure.
that is, let's see, 2 days after my birthday, a day before
You're
my
throwing
anniversary.
Sean a big party,
Yeah.
basically.
So, but it's a kickoff, and it's a fundraiser, obviously, too.
It is.
Fund and friend-raiser.
And fun. Also.
And fun.
That's
and
right.
Fun. Yeah, all
Yeah.
the F words in there. But all the good ones. Sorry,
All
I
the
don't
good
mean that.
ones.
Sorry about that. Tell us more about the event. Like if we're interested, they want to support GraceWay, they're going to bring you clothes, they're going to volunteer, but they also want to come to this event. How do I register?
Sure. So gracewayvillage.com is the perfect place. You know, they'll see our event right there, Big Dreams, Great Expectations, because I've titled it that, you know, it's big dreams, but I have great expectations that it's not just us, it's the community as a whole coming together, seeing the need and doing something about it. So enough with the talking, we got to do some action, you know, and that's what I'm all about. So trying to really get this kicked off, and gracewayvillage.com is the best way to do that. They can get their tickets there. If there's any businesses wanting to sponsor this wonderful event, then they can also find the sponsorship information right there online.
Nice.
That's awesome. And I've actually been on your website. It is incredibly user-friendly, which I love about a
Thank
website.
you.
But there's also information on there about all of the programs that we talked about and how to become a volunteer.
Yes.
So if anybody's interested in that, what kind of volunteer opportunities are there for somebody to help out?
I love this question, because it's kind of like, you know, we take care of our clients, but we also really value our staff. We also really value our volunteers and our donors as well. So we're here for everybody. And really, we create a volunteer family. You know, it's a really fun time where they can come out to the cafe in the evenings. Like I said, it's Tuesday through Thursday, as well as Sunday. Our volunteers are from about 4:15 to 6:15. So it's a few hours of your evening, and it's a great way to just have some fun with some other like-minded people. and pack up meals or be a runner running the meals out, or even going to our off-site locations. So there's always a job that will suit you. So you might not like to be in the food line. You might like to be talking to the clients. You know, we've got
That's
that.
okay. We got that.
Yeah. You might not like to do food at all, but you can only come in the evenings. We've got a sorting room full of donations you can sort through. So there's always something, a part that will fit what you like to do.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And I know this is way ahead of the game, but you also have a big Father's Day event that, you know, we've talked about last couple of years and we're excited about. And I know it's early, but everybody can mark their calendars now.
April is not really too far away if you think about it.
It is not that far.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah. So it's April 21st. It is a father-daughter dance. We are so excited for it. It's our 11th annual one, Butterfly Kisses. We have such fun with the DJ coming out. Cake Lady comes out. You know, we just have an incredible time where dads and daughters, or grandfathers and granddaughters, or even last year was so much fun. We had some older adult ladies bring their father to the event because they never did anything like this when they were kids.
That's very cool.
So it was a great time, and it's hula hoop contests, cupcake decorating, you name it, we've got it.
My husband is very competitive, so if I dropped those two things, he'd be like, all right, we're in.
Yes.
Don't come home unless you win that prize.
We are there for that.
So that opportunity, and April, you're right, it's not that far away. Now that you say that, we're going to blink our eyes. We'll be like, when's the
I know.
24? But there's sponsorship opportunities available for that as well.
Absolutely, yes. And right now, it's you can also check us out on Facebook, GraceWay Village. So GraceWayVillage.com, though, is the best form of information to get to you, though.
Perfect.
Very straightforward website.
I appreciate that. You know, we love our acronyms in social service, but ours is really difficult. Yours, very simple.
All right, so Chrystal, now it's test time.
Oh.
We need you, before we sign off here, phone number,
Okay.
website, and just a reminder of why they're calling.
Awesome. So you can call to donate, you can call to volunteer, you can call to just say hello and be an encouragement.
We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take anything. So our phone number is 772-925-3074. Our email is info@gracewayvillage.com. Our volunteer email is volunteer@gracewayvillage.com. Or you can check us out online, gracewayvillage.com.
Awesome. We're so grateful that Chrystal was able to join us. Class 39 was able to join us, and just wonderful that she's the face of GraceWay, and not just the face, but doing all these great things. She's everywhere,
Yep.
and she's always so upbeat, and it makes you want to be part of it.
Yep,
Which
agreed.
I appreciate. So, and I'm just going to end here. This is our last show of the year. We're grateful for every listen and view, but it doesn't just stop once we stop talking. It's important that this show works. It's a relationship, right? We need you to take this information on. Give GraceWay a call. Check out their website, because let's face it, we're in the holidays, and you probably got this great holiday plan, but we do have families in our community that are trying to figure out how they're going to make this work this holiday season, and quite frankly all year round, and GraceWay is one of those solutions that we can all be part of to make everyone's day brighter and a little bit more uplifting. So remind everybody, it's a weekly radio program every Sunday on 104.5 The Flame. If you've missed the show, do not fear, do not fret. Just download the podcast version. Just look up Community Connections with Children's Services Council. We're also grateful for St. Lucie Public Schools for making this video version possible. Everybody, thank you for a great 2023. We look forward to seeing you in 24. And remember that it's our children, our community, our future. We're all in this together. We'll see you next time.